Hi everybody, it's Mike again with the Claim Squad Public Adjusters. Happy New Year. We're at January 10th, first video of the new year. So we'll be talking about today how you read and understand the declaration page of your policy. Now we're going to go through a couple different companies and the way their declaration page is set up. Some things to look for, some tips, tricks, and actually some probably pitfalls that the insurance company tries to do by way of the declaration page. So we're going to get right into this video and hopefully everybody learns a little bit of something. So my name's Mike Keeler. I'm a licensed public adjuster in the state of Florida. If you need help with a claim, have a question, need some advice, here's how you can get a hold of me. Okay, let's take a look at a policy here. So this is Citizens, and want to cover something here. So if you notice this policy number, all right, the policy number and then the dash here, that normally indicates how many times, how many years they've had this policy. So 8 years. The other thing is, you'll notice dwelling, that's your home. So this is the coverage. You have $182,000 on your home. Other structures, which would be like a shed, a garage that's not attached to your house, anything not attached to your house, a boat dock, okay, $3,640. Personal property, obviously clothes, bed, if something that's damaged. Loss of use, $18,200, meaning if your property is inhabitable and you need to live somewhere else. This is all liability. Somebody falls in your property, okay, gets hurt. Then you notice some other things here for replacement costs. They have personal property replacement costs included. If you've heard about the insolvent companies in Florida, and then FIGA takes over, that's a Florida Insurance Guarantee Association, so there's little fees involved there. Citizens puts more information in the declaration page, all right? But something that Citizens does that's pretty sneaky and a lot of people don't know about. This would actually be not necessarily part of the declaration page, but it kind of is. And that is the following. So, sudden water damage. So they talk about this, right? Free emergency water service program. But then here is where you find out. You notice they didn't put that in, and I'm going to show you a few other declaration pages so that you know. Every Citizens policy has a $10,000 water damage limit. 90% of people don't know that, maybe higher. So let's take a look. Using Citizens Managed Repair Contract Network program is completely voluntary. I do not recommend using the contract program, all right? If you elect to have repairs performed by a contractor outside the Managed Repair Contractor Network, you will have a $10,000 limit on coverage damage resulting from water loss not covered by water. All right, so they don't put that in there. So you have a $10,000 water damage limit, always 24/7, 7 days a week, 365. All right, $10,000 water damage limit. So that's Citizens. If you like these type of videos, please give me a like on all my videos and subscribe to the channel. Okay, so let's take a look at this one. This is a newer company. I don't know who in the hell they are. But one of my clients actually said, Mike, take a look at this for me, because this person has UPC, and UPC, all policies with UPC, okay, will be no longer in existence as of July 1st, 2023. So when I take a look at this, this is why I always think. This is a few things that I try to look at. Number one, obviously this is a quote, okay? But HO3, that's the standard homeowners policy. So I try to look, is it HO3, HO6, which would be condo, or HO8, which is a basic beginning policy. You will also find there are DP1, DP3, which coordinate, when I see that, with normally a tenant situation. So you can use that as Airbnb, you rent it out, and rather than having loss of use, as loss of use is always in these homeowners policies, you would have what's called fair rental value with the dwelling policies. All right. So one thing I always look for is a water damage limit. So I'm looking around, and as we see here, there's the same coverage as we cover with the citizens policy, the deductibles, right? All perils mean anything other than a hurricane, water damage, fire, etc. Here's a hurricane deductible. But the one thing I mentioned to him, here you find the limited screen enclosure and carport coverage, meaning pool cage. All right. So he's going to have a $20,000 limit on the pool cage, which actually is not that bad compared to some other policies that I've seen. But the thing that I really told him about that I didn't like when I looked at this was this: preferred contractor. Now, when you look at that, nobody's going to know what the hell preferred contractor. People normally just go, okay, let me look at the price, look at a couple things, and then you sign away. Preferred contractor on this is basically saying anytime you have any type of loss, they're going to force you to use their contractor. You never want to use an insurance company contractor. Anything. Don't use them for water mitigation. Don't use it for mold remediation. Don't use it to repair or replace your roof. Don't use it to fix the damages inside your home. Nothing. Never. Don't ever use an insurance company contractor. Their interest is for the insurance company and saving money and not making your home beautiful again. Okay, so we're going to take a look at this policy. This is American Integrity, a bad company. So same thing. I take a look at things. I see what's on the coverage as far as the declaration page, the basic stuff right here first. See if anything's glaring. Now with American Integrity, there's something I need to point out. So they have two different deductibles when it comes to possible wind. If you notice here, they try to be sneaky. They have windstorm or hail, $2,500. And then normally, let me see, where is this at? I think it's down here. Sorry. I'm going to go through another policy one, but I just want to show you something if I could find it real quick. If it's on here. See, this is how fast I can look through these policies because I know what I'm looking for. Sorry to waste everybody's time. Let me see if it's in here. If not, I'll pull it up somewhere else. It's not. All right, so we'll go through another one. So I'm gonna cover what the difference is between this. So windstorm or hail. So if a storm just came through, a tropical storm, and you suffered damage to your roof and you had some leaks inside, your deductible will be $2,500. But if it's a hurricane, the deductible is now $4,620. Now again, remember, I always try looking for water damage limits because these companies try sneaking it in there. So you look and you say, wow, okay, there's no water damage limit here on the declaration page, right? So then I got to look at the endorsements. And I start browsing through this, see if anything catches my eye. And then I see two things. Water damage exclusion. Okay. So to me, when I read this, American Integrity Corporation, DP, dwelling property, I imagine, water damage, X exclusion, and this endorsement was put into the policy, looks like on 12/18. So there's just little things that you figure out, right? Okay, then that's replaced, when you know this, that's replaced by the limited water damages. So this is going to be $10,000. So they don't put it up here, but they sneak it on an endorsement. The agents do, so you don't know. American Integrity, dwelling property, limited water damage, again, 1218. So there's a lot of things that you can catch on to this. Let's take a look at the policy number, right? So if there's a dash here, 4, it would mean he had that 4 years. So it does say renewal. So some companies, this 2 could signify it's a second year. Not all companies do this, but some do. That's not really important to anybody, but for me, for some reasons. So this is another policy, American Integrity. Okay, so let's go over this one. This is a farmer's insurance policy. There's not a lot in Florida. Farmers pulled out years ago and they came back in slowly. They're mostly in Central, but this is a Fort Myers policy while the insured lives in Fort Myers. So I've looked through the same stuff, and as you can see, unlike some of the other companies, Citizens, American Integrity, Farmers actually puts here the water damage exclusion, and then the water damage is brought back in. Say that 10 times. Brought back in. I guess it wasn't that hard. With a water damage limit of 10,000. Now, if I'm looking at this, it doesn't show any indication whether this is a DP1, DP3, HO3, but it appears to me the way it's set up, and based on my experience, I'm 90% sure this is an HO3. Here we talk about the calendar deductible for the hurricanes, okay? I'm going to go through, I didn't go through in the other ones, but we'll go through because I like the way this farmer's policy is set up, all right? We're going to talk about some other features of the policy. So they have the checklist of coverages. This is on everybody's policy. It's usually in a different format on some policies, but you'll see it. Usually it's kind of a box, and you'll see it checked off Y or N, and it goes through everything. For instance, fire, lightning, yes. Hurricane, yes. Flood, no. All right. Sinkhole down here, no. So the loss of use coverages, they break it down into possibly 3 different areas you can use this. And then more stuff. So one thing I want to point out about the mold, and you say debris removal. Debris removal, and then we just had a hurricane obviously in the west coast of Florida. That does not include trees. This is if you have aluminum, if you have a pool cage, if you have concrete blocks, if you have roof tiles, whatever that needs to be removed. It's 5% of coverage A. Coverage A is on this policy, right? $279. So you got 5% of $279. So let's talk about the mold fungi. You're always going to see 2 numbers more than likely. The first number is what you have that covers you and your property. The second number, usually it's 50. This one has 20. But usually the 50K, but we'll take either one in this situation. That covers others. If somebody's at your home, property that's not yours, it gets damaged from mold, it covers it for whatever that second number is. So in this case 20, but most cases it's 50. And that's pretty much it. But this looks like an HO3 policy with farmers. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video and learned a little bit as far as declaration pages and how these insurance companies, they don't write it the same way, right? So you would think like an auto manufacturer where there's one way to start up a car, either push button primarily now, that all of them which have it, they're all kind of cohesive in their ideas for that. Insurance companies, we saw some sneaky ones on how they try to hide water damage limits, right? We saw others on what they do. Some put in a declaration page. There's a bunch of other things on what they try and do to be sneaky with these declaration pages. Your agent is at the root of this as well. The agent and the insurance companies are together. right? So they're bonded. And they don't, and the agents are making mistakes by not telling people really what's on your policy. It takes 5 minutes. Hey, Mr. Homeowner, I just want to let you know you have a water damage limit, which means any type of damage from water other than wind that causes water, it's not going to be covered, or you only cover for $10,000. They don't do this, and there's other different things, and that's why it's important to know when you're looking at the declaration page what to expect. Now, the next video that I'm going to do is going to be how you read and understand your homeowner's policy. We're going to go through a lot. That one's going to be important. You're going to see all kinds of different things I'm going to try and show you. And again, this comes right back to the insurance companies never making anything easy for people. I never understand why people don't want to get help from the onset of the claim in the beginning with all this complicated language. It's not the same as an automobile policy, not the same as an automobile claim. Homeowners is a totally different beast. Thanks for watching this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it and learned a little bit of something. My name's Mike Keeler, licensed public adjuster in the state of Florida. Here's my cell phone, my email, and my website. If you need to get a hold of me, have any questions, or need help with a claim. Thank you.